Hey everyone, I'm Gurleen. I hope you're doing well, and in today's video we'll be discussing the trade plan for Wednesday, that is April 12th, 2023 for Nifty and Bank Nifty. We will also take a look at a few select stocks wherein good risk to reward opportunities are brewing up. So be sure to stick around till the end of the video and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and do ring the notification bell so that you never miss an update. Right before we start, the sentiment on the street seems to be shifting towards extreme greed. Now the question that comes up is that whether it's a breakout or a trap. We'll find out. So without any further ado, let's look at the technical angle, starting with Nifty 50 on the daily time frame. Now in yesterday's trading session, we saw a decent cool off from the level of 17,690, which was the harmonic potential reversal zone. Thereafter, we saw a gap up opening and Nifty took out this level of 17,690. Now it's not unusual to witness volatility at such crucial levels. On the downside as well, if you see, Nifty spent a considerable amount of time around the level of 16,989 before turning on the upside. So what can happen next? As we had also been discussing that in case of an extension of this up move, I'll be looking at a target of about 17,926, which happens to be the reversal zone of this particular pattern. So all in all, we can say that Nifty has entered into a wide potential reversal zone of 17,690 to 17,926, and fresh longs should stay cautious at this front. Now moving forward with the hourly time frame. Though over here it's right to say that the index has seen a vertical rise from the levels of 16,900 and a temporary pause or a pullback is due. Here you can see that Nifty has traded within an inside bar setup, and you can mark the high and low of this candlestick at the levels of 17,748 and 17,663. So let's discuss the trading approach here. Trading such narrow range setups can be simple and challenging at the same time. So the first case scenario is that if the high of 17,748 is taken out in Nifty, then on an intraday basis we can expect the index to test the levels of about 17,800, and the invalidation can be considered this lower end of the range. So this brings in almost 1:1 RR. Now the second case scenario is that if the index breaks below this low of 17,655, then we might be in for filling this gap, and the index can also test these moving averages on the downside. Now in this very case, the upper band of this range that happens to be at the levels of 17,748, or to round it off 17,750, can be taken as an invalidation level. Also over here, you can consider the hourly moving averages at the levels of 17,639 followed by 17,530 as the trailing support levels for the index. On the 15-minute time frame, with the gap up opening, this pattern which was yet to be triggered got invalidated at the open itself, and we've already discussed the trading approach for tomorrow's trading session on the hourly time frame. So here as well, what you can do is you can mark the high and low of this range, and then one can trade in the direction of the trend as in how the setup develops from here. Now let's talk about the support and resistance levels for Nifty. So the support is placed at 17,640 followed by 17,530, and the resistance is placed at 17,770 followed by 17,926. Now let's move to Bank Nifty. Yesterday, as Bank Nifty registered a negative closing from the level of 41,332, so what looked likely was a pullback on the downside. But once again, the gap up has brought about indecision as to where the index is really heading. So it does look like a breakout of this falling trend line, but what if it's a trap? Well, let's decode it. So here we had been discussing the possibility of the upside move getting extended at the breakout level of 41,332. So in that case, I outlined the level of 42,068 followed by 42,268 on the upside. Also, if you see, there's another harmonic pattern which suggests that Bank Nifty can test the levels of 41,595 for starters. And if we see a breakout at this very level of 41,595, then probably 42,000 followed by 42,268 would become more likely. But we'll just consider 41,595 for starters over here. So it will be right to say that Bank Nifty has entered into a wide potential reversal zone, and fresh positional longs should consider the risk to reward, which does not look quite favorable at these very levels. Now on to the hourly time frame. Chances are that the momentum on the upside might stay intact and Bank Nifty can possibly consolidate within this range, or it might as well catch up with these averages at the levels of 41,108 followed by 40,871. And an additional confirmation of a minor pause in the trend will be a breakdown below these averages. So for now, we are on the safe side and positional longs can be trailed and fresh ones should maintain caution. Now for Bank Nifty, the support is placed at 41,108 followed by 41,871. There's a typing error in the support, and the resistance is placed at 41,595 followed by 42,068. Now let's move to stocks. Let's start with ITC. If you remember, we had discussed that ITC has been moving in a range and it was trading right at the polarity level of 367 on the bigger time frame. So you can see that ITC has given a breakout of this range, and it might as well turn out to be a nice swing setup with an invalidation placed at the lower levels of 366. So here a near to medium term target of about 420 to 425 can be seen. The next one is Reliance. Though Nifty reclaimed the 17,748 mark, but Reliance is still stuck within a narrow range, and this can turn out to be a good trading possibility as well. So first of all, if we see a breakout at the levels of 2350 in Reliance, then it can test the levels of 2396 on the upside, which happens to be the potential reversal zone. And the second possibility is that if Reliance gives a breakdown below this low of 2308, then an immediate target of about 2290 followed by 2275 can be seen at this counter. Though what really looks likely is the first case scenario. The last one on the list is IndiaMART. So here on the daily chart, you can see that the stock had been trading within this narrow range for almost 2 weeks, and today we have seen a breakout. But here a sustainable move above the level of 5140 will be an additional confirmation that IndiaMART can test the levels of about 5275 followed by 5400 on the upside. Now here the invalidation level is quite wide at the 4900 mark, so one can adjust the risk accordingly. Well, that's it for the day, and on that note, it's Gurleen signing off. Until we meet again, have a good time.